So people have been in me comments saying that I should watch Brock Purdy in the second half of the championship game versus the Lions because I evaluated Purdy's first half, and I'm just a believer that when you get an understanding of someone's skill set, the results might be different depending on all sorts of variables, but it's the process that counts. Now, I'm going to approach this with an open mind, but we'll just see if Purdy is that difference maker, that guy that can't be replaced, that some people seem to think he is. Definitely some Purdy defenders out there. But we'll see if those flaws that I picked up in my previous video, which I'll have up here, perpetuated in the second half. Now, the Niners would go on to win this game, having a pretty large deficit. What's that? 3 scores? Yeah. So we'll see. So 3rd and 8. If he gets sacked, it's still probably in field goal range. Where would you be looking pre-snap? I reckon Kittle. Because Kittle is either going to be matched up against this big boy, who he's probably going to be able to outrun, or he's going to be matched up against Gardner-Johnson, who's got a lot of cushion, and so Kittle can make some space. So, because the other receivers are matched up, or, as I've said in previous video, just like Ayuk needs to isolate against the cornerbacks. Ayuk against this cornerback and Jennings against this cornerback, and trying to make a play. And that's where, look, you can put up great numbers as a quarterback, and it could simply be the difference between having a good receiver and having a mediocre receiver. Because one-on-one situation, that's just a battle of who's better. And the quarterback needs to throw it up, and if they've put the ball in the receiver's catch radius, then it's really just, it's not down to him after that, it's down to the receiver. Now, in my previous video saying that Mason Rudolph's the best player in the NFL, in my opinion, he places the ball perfectly generally, and unfortunately he's just had some mediocre receivers who haven't made the plays for him after that. And so his numbers aren't crazy. He's had some tight losses in games, being let down by his receivers, I feel. Anyway, if I was Purdy, I'd potentially just throw straight to Ayuk here because he's got some space to work. But anyway, let's see how things unfold. So I don't know why, but the Niners love their guys who've got a hitch on their throws. Like Garoppolo had it, Purdy's got it, Trey Lance has it, where it's like, it's super inefficient. Like, again, just give me Rudolph, whose body's super compact so that he can protect the ball, and then when he decides to throw it, just boom! It's a rifle. It's straight and true. Whereas Purdy's just got a bit of a wind up. He's throwing across his body, and I think that affects his accuracy. And there you have it. Putting his receiver in danger too. So, yeah, not great there. Also, can I just say how loaded this Niners defense is? So you got Chase Young, Arik Armstead, is that Javon Kinlaw, or Javon Hargrave is subbed in there. I'm not a fan of Nick Bosa, but Randy Gregory, who's the other DN that gets subbed through? Oh no, yeah. Ambry Thomas, I loved out of college, and he's balling out. Fred Warner, and they're doing this without Talanoa Hufanga, who I'll take credit for evaluating as a difference maker. Probably should have been a top 10 pick in his draft. And he was drafted in the 5th round, I believe. So, look, the offense, if the offense has decent field position from the get-go, like, you know, the offense is going to have some advantages. So that needs to be kept in mind, I think. See, that's my biggest problem with Bosa. He spends half the time on the ground, like just slipping and sliding. It's just awful. All right, here's Purdy in the shotgun, some motion. So quick out. So could another quarterback that you could find on the street make that throw? Yeah. So yeah, that was a throw by Purdy that gained like 20 or 30 yards, but was it on Purdy or was it on Samuel? First and 10. How are y'all telling me to watch the second half when there's things like A, Purdy's not doing well, and B, is just like not even in his control, right? Now, look, I could big note myself all day, but Kindle Vildor, I loved out of college, and I made in my recent video on my website, which you can check out, link in my channel bio, is that like Kindle Vildor is a classic example of like Chicago Bears just not identifying their talent, right? Chicago Bears, cellar dweller team, they cut Kindle Vildor. He winds up on the Titans, gets some playing time, gets picked up by the Lions, ends up starting in the NFC Championship game. So the guy is clearly highly favored by some guys, but the lowly Chicago Bears cut him after drafting him in like, was it the 3rd round or something? Now, this is just really unfortunate, and Vildor is one of the few good cornerbacks in the league, I think, but clearly needs to work on his hands a little bit more, get his hands around, and this is just a bit of a freak occurrence, really. And Ayuk, I don't know, why does Ayuk lose his feet here? Just run it in for the touchdown. Grab it. And then he does run in for the touchdown, but only because he doesn't get downed. But unlucky Vildor here, but if we're evaluating Purdy, this throw, look. How can you throw with any accuracy when there's so much rotation going on from the hips all the way up to the shoulders? Like, again, I just want y-axis. I want my quarterbacks to only worry about the y-axis. And Purdy's like got so much sideways rotation that there's accuracy issues, and he overshoots here. And a great cornerback, an all-world cornerback, would pick this off. All right, good shuffling of the feet there. I mean, look, a better safety probably could have picked that off. But great shuffling of the feet, moving up in the pocket, and he floats it. Like, his arm's pretty goddamn weak. Let's be real. And look, the defense got a turnover, so okay, Purdy led the greatest comeback in NFC Championship history. Well, is it just him? That may have been the result. He was the quarterback. But there's other factors at play here. Now, this is what stood out to me when I was watching this game live, is that, man, Purdy's got some wheels. And I'll give him that. So his guys aren't getting open immediately, and should he hit this hole immediately? 2nd and 11. Look, this guy's eyes are turned away from him. This guy's eyes are. This guy's too far away to impact the play probably, and that's probably where I like Vildor, is that he's got good awareness, so he can guard his receiver, but he's also managing to keep his eyes on the quarterback. if I was Purdy at this point, hey, Hutchinson is bearing down on you. You got a running lane here, so I just escape it immediately. So what does Purdy do? He gets a pump fake in, and a better defensive tackle might be plugging this hole, and that might be just a sack on Purdy. But he escapes and shows good quickness and ability to put the ball in his left hand. And he's on the left side of the field, so that works well, and shows good toughness to bounce off this. So I really recall that was one of his better plays. Alright, so the Lions had a 3 and out because they have mediocre receivers. I like Jamison Williams, but like, you telling me you can't get a better guy than Josh Reynolds? Ugh. First and 10. Oh, it's an even game already, so... Oh, what are you doing, brother? Guys... Is it because... Are these plays happening because Purdy's awesome, or is it because the Lions suck? Lackadaisical, really chill in the pocket, got pressure in his face, but that doesn't worry him. If he throws this ball, it's a potential fumble because his release isn't all that quick. And this is just horrendous tackling technique. And he makes a throw on the run, but again, who was on the could Kurt Benkert make that throw? Yeah. Was Jarrett Garantano on the Niners practice squad recently? He might have been. Could he make that throw? Yeah. Tyler Bray. Those are the last two guys I just mentioned that I've profiled on my channel before. If you want to see real dominant quarterbacks, watch those guys. Tyler Bray, could he make that throw? Yeah. It's just like, why is everyone trying to defend Purdy? I mean, that was a pretty good job to evade this sack. But again, it's even like the edge defender allows breaking of contain. Like, it's just a litany of errors by this Lions team. And decent enough throw on the run. I mean, it's not like there was anyone in Juice's vicinity. I think I critiqued it. No, I was critiquing. I was critiquing Purdy for being lackadaisical behind center, wiping his hands and shit. Like, if he's wiping his hands and the center snaps the ball early, then Purdy's gonna look pretty damn stupid. So I would just be a little bit more alert when I'm behind center. Okay, wide open throw. And again, like, his eyes are here. If Hutchinson really attacked, what is Hutchinson even doing? Hutchinson should just be charging as hard as he can this way. But he's just stuffs around. And Purdy, I don't know if he could see it. And he's won. Okay, how many seconds is this? Ready? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So about 4 seconds is a shitloads of time in the pocket. So he had a pretty good protection here, and Kittle's wide open. Do I even want to watch the rest of this? Am I proving my point that the fact that Purdy was quarterbacking a team that ended up having a great comeback is what percentage of that is on him? To the point where, like, he was the difference. Now, that scramble that he had, that was a great play. But other plays, it's just like either he literally failed, and like I got that ridiculous like helmet bounce grab, right? Because that was a pick. And this is why football is interesting. And like I've attempted to do some sports betting, and based on like my evaluations of teams, trying to pick up bets that have a great return, because I think that a team is underrated based on my evaluations of them. And a ball can bounce a certain way, so it doesn't matter how talented you are. There's all sorts of factors that go into a team winning. Obviously, some people are good at it, but I guess there's also schematic things and how smart coaching staffs are and things like that. But yeah, I mean, but really what you want to do when you're evaluating players is just knuckle down what are their skill sets and how much of a difference maker are they? How much would you pay them per year? Now, I've said it in my previous video, but I'd pay Brock Purdy about $6 million a year. But if there's some quarterbacks available who I'd pay billions of dollars a year if there was if I had unlimited money, then Purdy's easily replaceable in my opinion. See, again, this is really just poor gap management by the defensive tackles. See, this guy just overshoots it. These guys are not NFL quality, brother. Standing in the pocket, dancing around, holding it with one hand, so all it takes is a stray hand to knock that ball away. I'm finished. I've got better things to do than watch this guy play. This is the second half of Purdy playing, and he's just mediocre, like I say in my previous video's thumbnail. Replaceable. So, look. See, how many seconds does he have? And he gets sacked. What are y'all defending him for? Did you even watch the game? If his team had success in the second half, it probably wasn't on him.